What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean bro. Today is 2022, um, October, November, December, September, October 6th. Yeah. Let's look at articles, okay? Mm. Don't forget about the cheap, fundamentally strong tech stocks. Mm. Rivian checks off boxes, but still needs a lot to go right. 3-hour timer stocks to buy as race for a cure hits up. U.S. applications for jobless benefits increased last week. Bellwether RPM International pops on results. Sweden seizes evidence at Baltic Sea pipeline leak site. U.S. futures retreat on strong hiring. More jobs data on tap. How inflation slows third quarter earnings growth forecasts. This is a memorable time to buy into Micron Technology. This little non-small cap is up 139%. Is this stock a buy? Okay, let's read those first. Okay. Don't forget about the cheap, fundamentally strong tech stocks. SGH is a deep value and rapidly expanding component manufacturer. Skyworks is another value stock and one expected to post strong quarter third results. One pays a dividend, the other buys back shares, and both stocks appear to be bottoming. SGH and Skyworks are grossly undervalued stocks given the underlying strength of their businesses. There's companies that are tech companies but are also deeply exposed to the manufacturing world because of the components they make. That's right, electronic and digital components. The components that are needed by manufacturers and industries of all varieties, and there is demand for the products. While there are some headwinds to be concerned about, namely COVID related supply chain disruptions in China and slowing sales in some areas, the long term outlook is more than robust. Hmm. Not only is the war becoming ever more digitized, but the old infrastructure, equipment, and consumer products have to be maintained, replaced, and upgraded. Mm. SGH pulls back on mixed quarter. SGH and Skyworks. Let's look at these companies first, okay? SGH. So we have Smart Global Holdings. Mm. Let's go to profile. And here it is. Designs and manufactures specialty solutions for the computing, memory, and LED markets in the United States, Brazil, China, Europe, and internationally. It operates through memory solutions, intelligent platform solutions, and LED solutions segments. The company offers dynamic random access memory modules for desktops, notebook servers. So basically, they're making components that goes into a lot of devices. It's not really grasping my attention. Uh, let's go to the next one. Rivian checks off boxes but still needs a lot to go right. Rivian stock is struggling to hold on to gains despite maintaining its production targets for the year. Hmm. For Rivian to succeed in the short term, the early adopters will have to come through. For Rivian to succeed in the short term, the early adopters will have to come through. Investors should weigh two intriguing partnerships that could expand the company's reach. Rivian stock appears to be a hold as it fights macroeconomic headwinds. Hmm. Rivian is taking investors on a wild ride this week, but it has nothing to do with the performance of its electronic trucks. The company stock is up 3.39% for the week as of this writing. Hmm. Huh? That's welcome news for investors who have watched the stock decline 64% in the last 12 months. Rivian. Mm, okay. Hmm. But after gapping of 11% on news that increased production in its most recent quarter and was maintaining its current production targets, Rivian stock is struggling to hold those gains as macroeconomic issues once again take center stage. Can the early adopters come true? Hmm. Every new trend goes through a predictable wave of buyer behavior. On the leading edge of this wave are the innovators, followed by the early adopters. The early adopters are willing to pay the premium to help seed products and services into the market and can have a significant influence on whether products make the cut. And this process is playing out in the EV market in general, and specifically with Rivian. Some might disagree with my thesis, but I base it on the fact that only about 5% of the EVs sold in 2022 will be fully electrified. So while interest and demand may be growing, there's still not a mass market for EVs at this time. Further supporting my thesis is the Rivian price tag. Okay, the company has two models of its electric truck that are selling for $73,000 and $78,000 respectively. I know there are tax incentives for buying electric vehicles, but those are still price tags that are out of the reach of many Americans in the best of times. They're certainly out of reach of Americans who are tightening their belts to get through a recession. The leaves a proportionally small population sample to help seed Rivian into the market. Can it be done? Certainly. Will it be done? That's the question that investors are mulling over right now. The analyst outlook is mixed. Okay. On the one hand, Rivian stock still has a consensus price target of $63. Okay, that's an impressive 76% gain from the stock price as of this writing. Okay. But when you dive inside the numbers, you can see that many of the more recent price targets for Rivian stock are much lower, and some are even lower than the current stock price. Okay. I'm just gonna skip on this one because my mom already bought some of Rivian stock, and it's not so doing good so far. So three Alzheimer stocks to buy as the race for a cure hits up. Okay, the billions that we will be spent to find a potential cure for Alzheimer's disease presents investors with an opportunity. Biogen has to be considered the leader in the clubhouse with the results from Lacamep. Lilly is a biotech giant that stands to benefit from the success of Lacamep as it waits to hear from the FDA about Donamep. Cassava Science is taking a different approach altogether and may turn out to be a big winner for speculative investors. Skip on this one. Okay. U.S. applications for jobless benefits increased last week. U.S. applications for jobless benefits. For jobless benefits, U.S. applications for jobless benefits. Okay, more Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week. So unemployment increased last week, right? Unemployment increased. As a result, um, the condition of economy um, gets a bit worse as the unemployment rate goes up, right? Um, and stock market will have a downward trend. Okay, but the labor market remains strong in the face of persistent inflation and a slowing overall U.S. economy. Jobless claims for the week ending October 1st rose by 29,000 to 219,000. The Labor Department reported Thursday. The previous week's number was revised down by 3,000 to 190,000. The 4-week moving average each up by 250 to a 6,500. The total number of Americans collecting unemployment aid rose by okay. Applications for jobless aid generally reflect layoffs, which have remained historically low since the initial purge of more than 20 million jobs at the state of the coronavirus pandemic in the spring of 2020. Recent employment data has indicated the job market may be cooling slightly. Cooling, here it is. Here the author expressed it as a cooling slightly. Okay, an important consideration for the Federal Reserve when it meets early next month to decide whether or not to raise its main landing rate again. Okay, it's another story about interest rate hike. Yeah, on Tuesday, the government reported that the number of available jobs in the U.S. plummeted in August compared with July as business grow less desperate for workers. So economy wise, interest rate hike, um, and company uh, spends less money on expanding their business, and which means um, laying off some workers. Um, uh, and at the end, its unemployment rate goes up. Uh, on Tuesday, government reported that the number of available jobs in the U.S. plummeted in August compared with July as pay business grows less desperate for workers, a trend that could put a dent in chronically high inflation. Payroll processor ADP said Wednesday business added 280,000 jobs in September, ahead of analyst estimate of 200,000. But below the 250,000, Wall Street expects the government to report the September jobs data coming Friday. Okay, next one, Bellwether RPM International Popson results. RPM International posted a strong quarter, and shares are moving higher. Guidance is favorable as well, and points to widening margins for the S&P 500. Three factors, however, make PPG Industries the better buy for investors. RPM International. RPM International, okay. RPM International. What does this company do? Its headquarters is Cleveland, okay. Manufactures, markets, and sells specialty chemicals for industrial, specialty, and consumer markets worldwide. It offers waterproofing, coating, and institutional roofing systems, sealants, air barriers, tapes, and forms, residential home weatherization systems. Okay, whatever that is, complicated. As a bellwether of sorts, making coatings and construction products for a wide range of uses. The company just reported a strong quarter and gave favorable guidance that points to peak inflation and widening margins for the S&P 500, but PPG Industries is the better buy now in the wake of the report. RPM International has three things counted against it that make PPG Industries a better value. Strong organic results. Okay. Sweden seizes evidence at Baltic Sea pipeline leak side. Sweden seizes evidence. Okay. Sweden's domestic security agency said Thursday that its preliminary investigation of leaks from two Russian gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea has strengthened the suspicions of serious sabotage, as the cause and a prosecutor said evidence at the site has been seized. The Swedish Security Service said a probe confirmed that detonations caused extensive damage to the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines last week. Authorities had said when the leaks off Sweden and Denmark first surfaced that explosions were recorded in the area. The agency, which said what happened in the Baltic Sea was very serious, didn't give details about its investigation, but in a separate statement, Swedish prosecutor Mats Lisve said seizures have been made at the crime scene and these will not now be investigated. Seized evidence. What I can feel by just reading one paragraph, I can feel that there's an obvious conflict between Sweden and Russia. There's a pipeline that goes in between Russia and Sweden. It's called, what was it? Anyway, I think it's located somewhere in the Baltic Sea area, and Sweden was trying to um, find that leak, and Sweden thinks that Russia had done this, but they have no obvious what is it? Obvious reason or obvious things. Well, that's what it is. U.S. futures retreat on strong hiring, more jobs data on tap. Okay. Wall Street futures pointed lower Thursday with ongoing concerns that resilient job market. That's what I read last time. Okay, U.S. futures. How inflation slows the third quarter earnings growth forecast. Okay. Wall Street expects the latest round of quarterly profits to show burn marks from the hottest inflation in 4 decades, and the damage could linger into 2023. Okay. Latest round of quarterly profits to show burn marks from the hottest inflation. Analysts have been trimming their forecasts, especially in the retail and communication sectors, as the inflation drives up costs and saps consumer spending on everything from food to clothing. Companies within the broad S&P 500 index are expected to notch earnings growth of roughly 2.6%, down from June projections of 9.5% growth. That will be the S&P's lowest growth since the third quarter of 2020, according to an analysis from FactSet. The technology sector is now expected to have contracted in the third quarter, a short revision from expected growth previously. Appliance maker Whirlpool, retail giant Target, and many other companies could report even sharper decline in profits than anticipated months ago. Okay. So because of high inflation, companies are expected to have slow third quarter earnings. And but in general, a lot of experts expect that results too. This is a memorable time to buy into Micron Technology. Micron Technology is a blue chip tech stock trading at a deep value. The company's weak guidance may already be priced into the stock. Okay, Micron Technology has a healthy balance sheet and is well positioned for a slowdown. Micron Technology. Shares of Micron Technology are down nearly 50% from their post-pandemic highs, driven by the same malaise as other parts of the market, and now presenting a very memorable time to buy. Is it really? Okay. At these levels, near $50, the stock is valued at a mere 6 times its earnings. And this is a blue chip tech stock fundamental to the global economy we're talking about. Even Intel trader trades at nearly twice the value. It's no flashy name itself, not one worth such a large premium in the face of stomping market anyway. The takeaway is that the shares of Macron are trading at a firm level of support. The company is outperforming expectations and is well positioned for the downturn in business, and so attractively priced at these levels. Okay, I got no confidence about this. Hmm. Okay, market noise might be throwing investors off in quarter fourth. Stocks waver after rally sputters jobless claims rise. What would happen if Musk lifted Twitter's ban on Trump? Oil holds surge on OPEC output cut, Russia warning. Chips are down but not out. Here are two strong buy semiconductor stocks from a top analyst. Okay. US national debt now tops $31 trillion for the first time ever. Here's who the country owes. Treasury and liquidity problem exposes Fed to biggest nightmare. Powell to cut another 500 jobs. CEO says it has 6 months to turn around. The Fed Reserve repo use just hit a fresh record of $2.4 trillion. Hmm. Kathy Wood deep buy binge, mainly focusing on small stocks. Right now is an awesome time to invest. As captain of stock market, retail bros Steve Portoni, who made a $2 million trading. Okay. The UK's lesson for the word turmoil isn't just for emerging markets. Okay. It's I just read 3 articles about Peloton stock and how they fired 500 jobs. Okay, let's start reading it. Hmm. First, we have market noise might be throwing investors off in the first quarter. Okay, that's right. Got that right. Just a third quarter just ended, and we'll soon have fourth quarter, and people would expect the same thing. This interest rate hike, it's not gonna just be over right away, and it's like right next to us. Stocks clawed back early losses Wednesday, with the Dow posting its best returns to start a quarter since 1938. Impressive, right? Traders might be tempted to think we've hit the low and it's all upside from here. But before you get too excited, let's have a frank discussion about market statistics. Headline that begins with best or worst are dominating financial media today, as they have many days this turbulent year. This is to be expected when volatility rears its head. Days with the best historical returns tend to cluster with the worst. Wow. Yeah, got that right. The days with the best historical returns tend to cluster with the worst. It seems the market gods are simply flipping coins. So, how do you make sense of the markets without getting whiplash? The key is distinguishing true signals from all that noise And while the public is later focused on price gyrations, most of those are just noise. True signals appear rarely, and they can be tough to identify. Take the current price action. We started the week of a two-day gain, making the first time the S&P 500 posted back-to-back gains of over 2.5% since the global financial crisis in the late 2008. Okay, hold on. Stocks fall as investors maul fast by away jobs report. U.S. stocks sank at the start of trading Thursday after a dramatic two-day rally that kicked off the quarter sputtered. Hmm. Marvel Technology. Okay. Chip stocks have had a brutal ride in 2022. The tables have turned on a sector particularly sensitive to cycles. After seeing outsized growth during the pandemic and despite the global chip shortage, waning in demand has seen many in the segment hit hard. Hmm. We got Marvel Technology, and what else? Lattice Semiconductor. Numerous in markets such as data centers, enterprise, automotive, cloud, consumer, and carrier infrastructure, while several years ago most of the firm's business came from the consumer electronics segment. Treasury's liquidity problem exposure is fed to biggest nightmare. Hmm. Patent to cut another 500 jobs, CEO says it has 6 months to turn around. Turn itself around, or it likely won't be a viable standalone company, according to its own CEO. So they got 6 months to turn itself around. Okay, to turn itself around. Okay, they got 6 months to turn itself around. Made the comments in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, also revealing plans to cut another 500 jobs. Huh. What is she doing, Kathy Wood? Kathy Wood's latest deep buying binge appears to be largely focused on smaller stocks, cementing her firm's already hefty shareholdings in such companies. Barring a few transactions in names like Chimic, Nvidia Corp, and Tesla Inc., Woods or Investment Management largely been picking up smaller stocks, including automation software provider UiPath, biotech firm Ginkgo, BioWorks Holdings, and space systems company Rocket Lab USA. Okay, that's a change from when ARK Funds bought Tesla in 10 sessions from the last week of May to mid-June after the electric car maker lost its crown jewel status in her main fund, a position it had held for about 4.5 years. Was leaning towards smaller stocks came after market tumble in the wake of hotter than expected U.S. inflation. Another jumbo rate hike by the Federal Reserve in September. ARK ranks as the second biggest shareholder in UiPath and the fifth largest in Ginkgo UiPath. Mhm. Right now is an awesome time to invest, says Captain of Stock Market retail broker Dave Portnoy, who made $2 million trading during pandemic's height. Oh, I cannot read it unless I subscribe. Turmoil isn't just for emerging markets. The turmoil is happening in UK. Okay. Last week's turmoil in the UK financial markets generated surprising global spillovers, including to the US bond market. The stresses have now eased in response to the Bank of England's willingness to buy bonds. And ultimately, the UK government's decision to scale back its proposed tax cuts. In a narrow sense, the stresses reflect market concerns about the gearing of UK macroeconomic policies, but more broadly, the turmoil offers an extraordinary example of the market's constraining policy choices of a major developed market government. Okay. Okay, I cannot read it. Okay, I'm just gonna for the last 30 minutes, I'm gonna go through the ones that I bought, uh, and then see how it's doing. Hmm. Let's go with I'm not gonna just look at ones that get me profit. I'm just gonna see one that makes me have loss. Okay. Mm. First, the one we are going to look at is Carvana. Carvana. So what's up with them? Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. The used car bubble has burst. Here's what that means for auto retailer stocks. Carvana expands co-signer financing to Birmingham. Okay. Its annual revenue is growing. Quarterly revenue is about the same in general. I mean, like throughout 2021 through 2022. Annual revenue is growing. Hmm. The industry pioneer for buying and selling used cars online makes its vehicle financing qualification process even easier by offering Birmingham residents the ability to add a co-signer to buy the vehicle they love. Co-signing, okay, by sharing responsibility for the vehicle loan, Carvana customers in Birmingham who qualify may unlock more attractive financing offers, including lower down payments, lower interest rates, or lower monthly payments. Hmm. Now offers co-signer financing option to qualified Birmingham applicants. Adding a co-signer couldn't be easier. Customers can simply apply alongside their co-signer, include to co-signer's information on Carvana's website or app. So they have to do something in advance, like on the website, they had to do it. Okay? With a continued focus on its customers, technology, and innovation, mission is to change the way people buy and sell cars. Carvana offers an intuitive and convenient online car buying, selling, and financing experience. Carvana.com enables customers quickly and easily shop more than 75,000 vehicles, finance trade in or sell their current vehicle to Carvana, sign contracts and schedule delivery or pick up at one of its patent automated car. Okay. So not much worry about Carvana. It's a first target estimate is like two times of open price level of open. Cloudflare. Okay, let's go to Cloudflare. Hmm. Two stocks you should buy in the bear market. Hmm. Twilio has years of strong growth ahead and is making moves to become profitable. Cloudflare continued its impressive revenue growth streak even during a difficult economic environment. Okay. Buying during bear markets could set the stage for massive returns as investors are purchasing assets that are cheaper than they'd be worth if the economy outlook weren't so grim. With that in mind, I've pinpointed two stocks I think investors should buy in the current bear market: Twilio and Cloudflare. So, what about Cloudflare? Hmm. Is a growth machine. It's a trend of essentially 50% year over year revenue growth in quarter second, just as it has since going public. Okay. It's rare for a company to maintain 50% revenue growth for 3 years, but Cloudflare has accomplished that feat. Although Wall Street analysts project that 2023's revenue growth will only be 36%, this metric may accelerate as more customers recognize the benefits of using Cloudflare. One knock against both companies, their unprofitability. Okay. Twilio has never produced profits in its life as a public company, but plans to produce non-GAAP operating profits by 2023. To do this, it cut about 11% of its workforce, a move that market applauded by sending the stock up 10%. So I get it. So they are gaining some more profits, and they mm, cut about 11% of its workforce. It's like a trade-off, I guess. Many companies are saying they have a path to profitability, but Twilio and Cloudflare is executing on that vision. So what we have next is Peloton Interactive. But I'm getting really tired tonight, so I'm just gonna go over these tomorrow. Okay. See y'all. Bye bye. Getting tired.